A pleasant day to each and everyone. We are the second year researchers or research students from the BS Ed English. And our study is titled Oral Communication Apprehensions among Teacher Education Students of JRMSU Memorial State University, Main campus. I am Researcher 1, Angel Balais.
I'm the Researcher 2, Yvette Monhanoy.
And I am Researcher 3, Kyla Pinar.
For our presentation, allow me to briefly introduce you the contents of the PowerPoint presentation. We have the rationale and gap, theory use, schematic diagram, statement of the problem, methodology, and references. College professors have made numerous observations that teacher education students struggle with expressing themselves in English through classes and even encounters outside the classroom. These observations are reflected in numerous studies, and these studies include one MSN study on oral communication apprehension of teacher education students and their relationship with their academic performance. Now, this study was conducted in 2016, and it states that majority of teacher education students are apprehensive about sharing ideas during presentations, while some are anxious about communicating in group, one-on-one, and public sessions. However, the studies did not choose a specific major, especially on the case of English major students, and this is the gap that the researchers have found. Hence, the study will explore the premise of oral communication apprehensions among English major education students who are also active communicators along the different communication situations. Therefore, the study will be conducted to determine the level of communication apprehension of the teacher education students of JRMSU Memorial State University main campus, primarily the English major students. The study will assist researchers, teachers, and the institution in gathering information regarding communication apprehension in order for them to provide support in addressing such issues and improving standards and opportunities for teachers, students, and the school. More precisely, the study will show the students' communication apprehension levels and in order to assist them in updating and addressing the communication apprehension needs. Moving on, we have the theory used in the problem. The study will be anchored on the communication apprehension of James McCroskey in 1970 as cited by Juan and Asada in 2016. This theory states that communication apprehension is apparent when an individual has a certain level of fear or anxiety connected with either real or expected communication with another person or persons. Specifically, the study will focus on the generalized context communication apprehension. This is viewed as a relatively enduring personality type orientation towards communication in a given type of communication context, which means that people can be highly apprehensive about communicating in one type of context while having less or even no apprehension about communicating in another type of context. So the researchers would like to look into the respondents' communication apprehension based on this view. Taking into a deeper look, in this type of communication apprehension, McCroskey and his group in 1982 isolated 4 communication contexts and provided instruments to measure each. And these contexts were addressed in the 4 measured in the Personal Report of Communication Apprehension, or PRCA 24, which includes public or communication apprehension about public speaking, about speaking in meetings or classes, about speaking in small group discussions, and about speaking in didactic introductions. These contexts play a crucial role in the study, so let us take a look into the schematic diagram. The 4 communication contexts, namely group discussion or small groups, interpersonal or dyads, meetings or classes, and public speaking, are the independent variables study. Meanwhile, education students' level of communication apprehension is the dependent variable of the study. We also have education students' gender and year level that will also be analyzed in the study. So this is the conceptualization of the study, and it will be more specified in the study statement of the problem.
So next will be our statement of the problem. So this study will determine the level of communication apprehension of the teacher education students majoring English enrolled in 2024-2025 in the JRMSU Memorial State University main campus. During the first semester of the academic year, employing a qualitative method through our survey questionnaire of James McCroskey called Personal Report Communication Apprehension, or PRCA 24. The statement of problems, specifically, it will determine the profiles of the subject in terms of gender and year level. The level of communication apprehension of the respondents in terms of group discussion, interpersonal meetings, and public speaking. And if there is significant difference in the respondents' perceived level of communication apprehension, then analyze according to profile, which is the gender and year level. Methodology. The study will employ a qualitative descriptive method to determine the level of communication apprehension of the respondents using the 5-point Likert scale survey questionnaire that's given on the Microskey's theory. Methodology. Respondents. We gather 66 respondents from the list of first to third year teacher education students enrolled in Bachelor of Secondary Education, majoring English, for the first semester of the academic year 2024-2025 at the JRMSU Memorial State University main campus, Dapitan City, Zamboanga del Norte, in which we use the sloping formula to determine and calculate the sample size of our respondents. Methodology. Research environment. JRMSU Memorial State University main campus teacher education students excel at communication. However, concerns arise when using English language in oral. The researcher discovered in their classes that teacher education students are visibly hesitant to express their opinion and communicate their thoughts in English during classroom discussion and exchange, which is the context of our study. And now Ms. Pinaran will further explain the detail of the methodology in our instrument.
So the instrument that the researchers use in study is the Personal Report of Communication Apprehension, or the PRCA 24 of James McCroskey. A 5-point Likert scale survey questionnaire will be given to the respondents to check their level of agreement with various statements about their feelings towards specific contents. The group discussion, interpersonal meetings, and public speaking. So the PRCA 24 is a self-report questionnaire containing of 24 items that respondents rate using 5 points. A Likert scale. The scale ranges from 1 or strongly disagree to 5 or strongly agree, allowing respondents to express their level of agreement toward each statement. Additionally, an overall communication apprehension score can be obtained by summing the scores of all 4 subscales. The instrument is structured in 4 groups of statement. A. Statement 1 to 6 are related to oral communication groups. B. Statements 7 to 12 are related to oral communications in meetings or classes. Statements 13 to 18 are related to oral communication in highest couples. And T, statement 19 and 24 are related to oral communication in public speaking. In data gathering, gain approval from the program head to proceed with the data gathering, wire permission, and access to official master list of officially enrolled BS and English students in the university. Seek approval of the associate team of the college for permission to start collecting data. And secure 66 copies of the questionnaire at this time. 4 separate days to distribute 20 questionnaires from each grade level based on the respondents' class schedule. Selected respondents will be informed of the succeeded of the studies and instructed how to proceed with the questionnaire and proceed to the tabulation and interpretation of the level of communication apprehension among teachers, education students in group discussions or small groups, interpersonal diets, meetings or classes, and public speaking situations. The statistical tools is frequency counts and percentage will be used to determine the profile of the students in terms of their grade, gender, color, and behavior level. For the analysis of the level of communication apprehensions of the respondents, computation of data will follow the formula provided by Matters P as shown in Table 2. Table 2 is the scoring scheme, providing the context and the scoring. So group discussion, 18, minus the score of items 2, 4, and 6, plus the score of items 1, 3, and 5. Meeting is the score of items 8, 9, and 12, plus the score of 7, 10, and 11. Interpersonal is the scores of 14, 16, and 17, plus the scores of 13, 15, and 18. And public speaking is the scores of 19, 21, 23, plus the scores for items 20, 24, and 22 and 24. So the researchers uses these scoring scheme to get the total scores that will determine the communication apprehensions, the level of communication apprehensions of the students or the respondents in the study. So the following are the references used in the study used by the researchers in the study.
That will be all for our presentation. Thank you so much for listening.